and snap your fingers, then you lean back. All out of state, on the day they never seen that. Ain't back, throw and snap your fingers, then you lean back.
Hello and welcome to Viti Vibes, your one and only show for Fijian youth. If you'd like to be a part of the show, please call us or let us know. Again, I'm your host, Pranay Sharma. Happy Father's Day to everyone from our team to yours at Viti Vibes TV. Father's Day is celebrated on the third Sunday in June, and it's a day for people to show appreciation and gratitude towards the fathers and father figures that may include a stepfather, father-in-law, guardians, and grandfathers. This is a day to love and gratitude towards fathers. With the summer soon approaching, please keep an eye on the elderly as they may be experiencing heat waves coming this season, so make sure you check up on them to make sure they're comfortable in their homes, as well as children and your pets as well. Moving on. Again, no show is complete without our support from our sponsors, so if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show or any other show that we bring to you on a weekly basis, please call us on the numbers at our credits. We'll be right back with a quick break from our sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor again, you can please call us at the number in our credits.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005. Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center, located at Pile Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events.
Benisi Mobile Detailing Services. They offer commercial trucks, cars, SUV, boats, bikes, RVs, and much more. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859 and they will do all kind of services at your home.
Thank you, sponsors. Now we have Shannon Permal. Please have a look.
Hello and welcome to Viti Vibes TV. I'm your director and host, Shannon Permal. Thanks for sticking around with us yet another week, and you can watch all new episodes of Viti Vibes every Thursday at 10 p.m. Or if you missed our shows, you can also watch it again on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. only on the Shaw Multicultural channel. Also, if you want behind-the-scenes content, you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and stay tuned onto our stories and posts. That being said, we're here in the studio again, and I have a lovely special guest here today with me. Her name is Manisha Kiran Singh, and she is a recent author, published her own book. She's a jack of all trades, I'd like to say. She's very talented, creative, and she's here today to talk a little bit more about this book that she's published today. And I'd like to invite and welcome Manisha to our studio. So hello, Manisha.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course. Manisha's actually off the record. She's a good friend of mine as well. So I'm very happy to have you here as well and see you accomplish something as big as this book that you brought here today with you. Yeah. I know you've been working on your writing thing for so long, and you've been working towards some really big goals, and to see you publish your own book, it's actually amazing, and I'm very proud of you. So Manisha, thank you for being here to share this with us. But before we get into the book, I actually want the viewers to learn a little bit more about you, and you have a long list of accomplishments in the writing world and off the record for the writing world. So let the viewers know a little bit more about yourself.
For sure. So my name's Manisha. I'm 25 years old. I'm a writer and author from Surrey, BC. I went to SFU in 2020, graduated from there with a degree in communications. I've worked for various media publications in North America, including Six Buzz, Daily Hive, 5X, and for the last year, I've worked at a media corporation based in Las Vegas. So it's a PR agency. I'm the head writer there. I've been published in Forbes, USA Today, On Entrepreneur, Elle, just a bunch of different magazines. And yeah, as of recently, I am now an author. I published my first book. It's a children's book called If Trees Could Wave, written to help inspire them to be more immersed in nature.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, you've been in communications in school, so you do have like an educational background, and so writing was something that you wanted to pursue for quite some time, and knew this.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So aside from writing, though, what are some of your like other hobbies?
So you, Shannon, obviously know this, but I love to dance. I love being outside, going for walks, watching movies. Just being a explorer in my own city and in my own province. Yeah.
Nice. So when it came to your passion for writing, how did that kind of come about? Like, do you remember like that first time where you're like, no, I want to be a writer?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah.
And I love this question. I was in grade 9 and I was in English class, and our teacher had a unit on poetry. And so I was in grade 9, I was 13 or 14 years old, and I wrote my first poem for the first time. And ever since then, I just haven't looked back. I've been writing poetry basically full time. The story that is If Trees Could Wave actually was a poem at the very beginning, like in its early stages, and then I kind of developed that into the storyline for the book. So for me, poetry is a huge part of who I am in my journey as a writer, but aside from that, the creative aspect, I do write for a living as well, so my job kind of consists of like interviewing clients and, generally entrepreneurs and authors and business owners, and helping them tell their stories through various platforms. So it's been really rewarding, and I'm super excited, and I love words, and I just think that words are so phenomenal and can really help us connect to each other, just like we are right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So English was definitely your best subject in school then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you remember that first poem that you wrote, like what it was about, or like do you remember anything about that poem that really helped you change, like, okay, yeah, this is it, like this is for me?
Looking back at it, it was actually an affirmation poem.
Okay.
So our teacher gave us different prompts, and so it would be like, I am blank.
Okay,
I am blank. And I remember for mine, it was I am strong and I am beautiful. And, it just kind of kept going. And for me, those are words that I've had to recite, or phrases I've, recited to myself a lot throughout the last couple years, just trying to get myself to a different place. So it's crazy to kind of look back at how that's where it all started and kind of where it all happens to be right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Unlike you, I was also like, we also did like the I am poems too, but I took the route of like, what is it, like not hyperboles, like that word for when you compare yourself to like an object kind of thing.
Personification.
Okay, yeah. See, this is I haven't been in school for a while, guys, so that's why I forgot. But I remember I would always just compare myself to food. So clearly we see who the more talented writer is. It's definitely Manisha. But I remember doing like those poems in grade 7 too, and I was just having a ride with it, like writing about like my favorite food, writing about like, oh my god, I have this heart, and like this is my heart. My heart consists of this, and it was like, I remember I wrote a poem, chocolate. It was so funny. Like, I clearly did not take that seriously.
I need to read that poem.
Dude, it's so funny. But yeah, no, I'm glad it worked out for one of us. No, but all jokes aside, you did take what would be considered an untraditional route in terms of like a career. Because I know like within our communities especially, right, when you're telling your parents, it's just like, or like your family members or your friends, it's like, oh, I want to be a writer, but it's like everyone expects you either doctor, lawyer, like something that has a high paying job, right? Whereas I assume like writing, it could be like when you're starting off, it could be a struggle with like an unsteady paycheck, right? Depending on if you're like doing it on your own or whatever. But definitely it would be considered an untraditional route. What are your opinions on this? Like how does it feel?
It feels honestly very illuminating. Like I kind of had the privilege of not having to worry too much about my parents, because I don't really have a relationship with them. So when it came to, me graduating school, everything was kind of on my own shoulders to kind of figure out what I wanted for my future. I felt like I had a lot to prove, especially not having a relationship with members of my family. So, with the right guidance, the right support, the right friends, being surrounded by creative people, which I'm really, really grateful for, I've been able to kind of craft this, path to where I am today, and I'm really proud of where I am.
Yeah.
I did go to school, kind of, got my degree and stuff, but I did freelance. Like when I worked at Six Buzz, which is like a Toronto-based media, that wasn't really a steady paycheck, to be honest, and it was hard kind of, to make ends meet a little bit, but, here we are today. Things are a lot better, and if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be here, so...
So the risk was definitely worth the reward in the end, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, the growth is like you just have to struggle a little bit, right? And I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if you would agree, you just have to struggle a little bit and then eventually like it will pay off, right? And I think that just kind of goes for a little bit of everything. If you like just, you have to persevere, restart, reset, refocus, but don't quit, right? I feel like that's definitely like a good lesson for everybody to take away. Just don't quit at like what you really want to pursue. And I'm glad that, and I'm actually commending you too, that you had to self-motivate yourself to like get to the point that you are today. And I know it's hard not having like, obviously like your family to like support you as well, right? But how do you feel about like the whole like, if the people you surround yourself with are definitely like influential to your life as well. Like you feel like you want to level up. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
No, I agree. Like, you are your company at the end of the day. So who you surround yourself with, like, their goals, how motivated are they? What are their goals? Are they working towards that? All of that's going to impact you, and at the end of the day, like you said, don't quit, and especially don't quit on yourself. If you know you have a message, if you have something that you want to achieve, it is your, birthright to go after it and to, make that dream possible.
That's wonderful. So what would you say was like the most difficult thing in your like pursuit of like writing?
It's a good question. The most difficult thing, I guess, would be like the instability of it. So, working as a freelancer, you don't know when your next article is going to come in.
Yeah.
You don't know when, your next paycheck is going to come in. So there is that little bit of, I guess, fragility, right?
Yeah.
With your life, and you just don't know.
Yeah.
But that is something that obviously like you get to learn from, and it can shape how you proceed and the type of work that you do end up doing. So yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Manisha here is a very talented writer, and like you mentioned before, you've been published in quite some big name magazines and blogs. For example, Elle, Forbes, and more. So can you talk a little bit more about your experiences in like getting those articles? Did you even know they were going to be for that, or? Yeah, how'd that work out?
So working at a PR firm definitely has its advantages. So,
Okay.
I personally, like, I've never had to, like, work with any particular, like, magazine, for example. Like, I just kind of work with the client, I write their article, and then whatever happens to it after the fact is kind of out of my hands. So the sales team or the accounts manager, whatever, they will kind of take the article and, like, sell it, right?
Yeah.
So, I've been quite fortunate on my journey to be published in all these big, magazines, and I'm super, super grateful for that. And I have put in a lot of work to get my writing up to a really high standard as well, because, with these publications, you just don't know what they'll accept. So I am really, really grateful for that. And, every time that I do get published in Forbes or Entrepreneur, it is a very special day for me.
No, absolutely. And I think it's definitely a win for our community as well. So in like your experience, how often do you come across someone that like looks like you, or say someone from like our own community?
I think within the last little while, within the last couple years, I've seen definitely like more of a definitely more people of color kind of in media doing their thing, influencers, so it's been quite beautiful. But when I was growing up, like Shannon, I think we were talking about
off
this
the record,
before.
yeah,
There wasn't that, representation. So I think the work that, I'm doing, the work that you're doing with Viti Vibes, it's so, so important. And I'm just really glad to be here and be a part of that change.
And I'm glad to have you here to actually show off that there are Fijian authors here. and actually putting out really good content as well, like this children's book, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, having that representation really makes the difference, because I know it's something as simple as, like, you know how we grew up and, like, we always played with Barbie dolls, for example, right? But there was never a brown Barbie doll.
Yeah.
So when we're seeing these brown Barbie dolls, we're like, oh my gosh, where was this when we were kids, right? Because that would have helped so much for our own, like, identity and, like, our own self-esteem and what have you, right? So I think it's just amazing that people like yourself are definitely doing this and, like, actually, like, putting our community on the map too at the same time, right? So commending you for that. But yeah, from writing blogs, and you went to publishing now your own children's book. You dropped this children's book. So can you tell me a little bit more about how, like, the thought process behind this book came about?
Yeah. So If Trees Could Wave is a children's book about appreciating nature. And, you know, we're living in an age where there's terms like iPad kids and screen time, and the average kid is actually spending about 4 hours a day looking at a screen. And so for me, you know, someone who has sort of, my relationship with nature has really evolved in the last couple of years, and I've, you know, been able to personally experience just how healing it can be to be outside.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, with, you know, kids growing up and not really having that as much importance towards nature, I just wanted to do something to kind of spark that, you know, in their mind that, hey, you know what, nature is actually pretty cool. So that's kind of the thought process behind the book, and, you know, I've been really inspired by just the nature kind of around me, and I love going to parks. You know, we live in the city of parks.
No, and that's
right?
exactly it. There's over 200 parks in the Surrey alone. Fun fact. But yeah, this book, nature is very therapeutic as well, like you said. And I don't know if people know, but there's, like, studies that have shown that, like, kids now being born, their, like, bones aren't as strong, like, as they're growing up, because they're not, like, going outside to play and getting, like, falling and breaking their bones and stuff. How as we used to, like, go outside, we'd be roughing it up, and then we'd like hurt ourselves, a couple scraped knees, whatever, right? But, like, we built that kind of, like, resilience to, like, the outdoors, right? Growing up. But, like, yeah, like you said, a lot of screen time. And I remember one of my fondest memories too growing up was, like, being able to go to the library. And, like, I mean, obviously it was a double agenda. My mom wanted me to read more, but that's the thing. Like, it was just like that one time of the week or twice a week, we'd go to the library, grab 7 books each, and then we'd read one every day, kind of thing. And it's just like having that time. And I remember there's the summer reading programs and, like, all that the library has, and just, like, books are just, like, something else, right? And again, like, it's also helpful, educational, and I like that you are incorporating that with your book as well. You're trying to get a message across. You're trying to also, like, make an appreciation in children too at a young age, so they know, right? So I guess that's the message you're trying to get across. What other message are you trying to get across with the book as well?
Honestly, like, just that trees deserve respect as well. Like, they're social beings, and, you know, I feel like we see trees everywhere, but who really gives them a second thought, right? You know, we just see them in parks, at schools, but they are super cool. They're social, they're alive, you know, they can hear what we say, they can feel us when we touch them. And, you know, they give us the oxygen that we breathe, and they play such an important role in our environment. And I think that more people, especially little ones, should be aware of just how powerful they are.
No, absolutely. They are the reason why we are able to breathe. Literally, number one thing. We help them, they help us, right? And so, like, respecting them, making sure also, like, in the environment, and I like that this also ties in that whole environmental aspect of it too, that we should be respecting our environment, and also making sure that we have trees also, because, like, especially with all the wildfires going on and people making, like, all these, like, human caused instances where we're losing more of our environment, and then climate change is becoming such a bigger thing. It just comes down to, like, respecting what we have and appreciating what we have, and making sure that we're doing our part to, and the first thing is knowing about what the environment is and how to respect it. And that book, I feel like, definitely does that job. But we're just about to run out of time for today, though. But I would like to ask you first, if people want this book, where can they find it?
It is available on Amazon. So if you go into Amazon and you type in "If Trees Could Wave," it'll be the first thing that pops up. This is a print version here, but I also have a hardcover version as well. That one's probably a little bit more durable, especially for little hands. So there are a couple options for you to choose from.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also available at the library.
Yeah, I was just about to
at Surrey Libraries and soon at Whistler as well. I'm working in getting it at libraries in Vancouver and other communities as well. So I'll be updating that on my social media. My Instagram is exclusively Manisha. So.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, like if you are able to purchase a copy, if financials are an issue, right, it's available in libraries. So feel free to go check it out. And I know it's always checked out now, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, how does that make you feel that it's like just someone's reading it?
I know. It's honestly the most heartwarming feeling ever. Like, I just love it. And, you know, people have sent me photos of their kids, like, with the book and videos and stuff, and it just makes me feel so good.
Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you, Manisha, and thank you so much for the work that you do. Do you have any last, whether it's related to the book or not related to the book, do you have any last message for our viewers at home?
To any kids watching this, I just want to say that you can do and be anything that you want to. So don't ever give up, and also make sure to get some sunshine.
No, absolutely. That's a great message right there. Thank you so much, Manisha, for joining me today. And I encourage all of you guys to also take a look at the children's book, If Trees Could Wave, available on Amazon for purchase, or you can visit the Surrey Libraries as well and check out a copy. If you want to follow Manisha on Instagram or Facebook, you could do that as well. But with that being said, you can also catch us next week here with an all-new episode of Viti Vibes on Thursdays at 10 p.m. or Sundays at 4:30 p.m. With that being said, my name is Shannon, and I'm signing off for today.
दुर्योधन का काम भला हुआ, रावण का काम भला हुआ, हिरण्यकशिपु का काम भला हुआ, शिशुपाल का काम भला हुआ, दंतवक्र का काम भला हुआ। ऐसे कितने राक्षस मरे पड़े, उनका भला नहीं हुआ। उन पे तुमसे ज्यादा पैसा था, सोने की लंका थी, फिर भी उनका भला नहीं हो सका। बिल्कुल भी भला नहीं हो सका उनका। बच्चों को अपने पास बिठा लें, ये ड्यूटी तो आपको निभाएं, लाएं जरूर बच्चों को, पर साथ बिठा लें। बोलो राधे राधे। महाभारत के युद्ध में एक प्रसंग हम सुनाते हैं, बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा। सुना है कि नहीं? प्रसंग अच्छा है, पर महाभारत का है, बहुत ही प्यारा प्रसंग। कर्ण ने प्रण किया था कि मैं अर्जुन को मारूंगा। ऐसा नहीं हो सका। अगर मैं नहीं मार सका तो अर्जुन को कोई नहीं मार सकेगा, तो फिर अर्जुन मुझे मार देगा। तो इसलिए कर्ण किसी और पांडव से युद्ध नहीं करता था, वो सिर्फ इस प्रतीक्षा में था कि मुझे अर्जुन से लड़ना बस। एज फॉर एज योर नॉलेज, आप सबको पता ही है कि वो भी कुंती के ही पुत्र थे और सबसे बड़े पुत्र थे, भगवान सूर्य के पुत्र थे। उनको जन्म से ही कवच और कुंडल प्राप्त थे।
Remember, this is your show, and if you'd like to be a part of the show, or if you'd like to come on and showcase your talent, or anything that you like to do, we'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call, and we'd always love to showcase you. Moving on, we have a few announcements that you may be interested in participating in, so please have your pens and papers ready. Culture Union 2023 will be taking place in the Qatari Hall in Baja, Fiji Islands on July 29th and July 30th. Get your tickets ASAP, as they are going pretty soon. It's all on the Coastal College Union Facebook page. Father's Day Dinner and Dance is taking place on June 17th at 7 p.m. at the Portuguese Hall in Surrey. For more tickets, please call Subash at 604-618-4722 or Varcha at 604-728-4662. Car Rally and Walk for Drugs and Gang-Free Communities is taking place on June 6th at 9 a.m. at the PICS head office on 12725 80th Avenue. And we will have a ride to the City Hall where we'll all meet the mayor and the councillors, and there will be many speakers for the rally, and it will eventually end at Holland Park in Surrey. For more information, call Lily Dodrell at 604-596-772, extension 331. Hindu Temple in Burnaby, 5430 Marine Drive, is hosting an International Day of Yoga from 5 to 7 p.m. Dinner will be served to everyone, and yoga sessions will be done. For more information, please call Dave Batara at 778-855-4258 or Satinder Bandari 604-313-7989 or Dr. Preeti Mishra at 778-996-1807. June 21st is also Indigenous Peoples Day, and we all live, love, and laugh and grow on Indigenous land. Go out and celebrate the Indigenous people of these days, and the events are organized in every city in our province. For more information, please check out their website. We ran out of time for today's show, but I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I love bringing it to you. Remember, you can always watch this on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. in BC and 5:30 in Alberta time. No show is complete without support from our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor, please reach out to Camila Singh at 604-537-5123. Also, please don't forget to watch Fijian Focus on Tuesdays at 10 p.m., Thursdays at 2:30 p.m., and Sundays at 4, along with Asian Pulse TV on Wednesdays at 2:30 p.m., Thursdays 8:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m., as well as the Camila Singh Talk Show on Mondays at 10 a.m. and the repeats on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. All our shows are uploaded to YouTube, so please like and please share. Before we wrap up this episode, I'd love to leave you with this thought. We realize that what we are accomplishing is a drop in the ocean, but if this drop were not in the ocean, it would be missed by the Mother of Teresa. With that being said, thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Talk to you guys soon.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005. Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center, located at Pile Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events.
Benisi Mobile Detailing Services. They offer commercial trucks, cars, SUV, boats, bikes, RVs, and much more. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859 and they will do all kind of services at your home.
Ain't fat, double shot your fingers, then you lean back. All out of state, 20 days, they never seen that. Ain't fat, double shot your fingers, then you lean back.